get that moment. When we get that moment. Give me a moment. When we get that moment. Let me get that moment. When we get that moment.
Whole day, I wanna ramage and drink something and break away. Whole day, whole day. Whole day, I wanna ramage and drink something and break away. Whole day, whole day. Whole day, I wanna ramage and drink something and break away. Whole day, whole day. Whole day.
Hey y'all, welcome back to Give Me a Moment. I'm your hostess, Pete, and we are back again. And today we're going to be discussing Caribbean American Heritage Month. So Caribbean American Heritage Month is the month of June. And I have today with me my sister, Dynell. I have here with me. We're just going to talk a little bit about, the history of Trinidad and, what the culture brings to America. So, hello.
Hi.
So this is our first time on here. So,
All right.
yes. So we do have some little goodies to show, but we're going to wait on that.
Okay.
But I just wanted to go into what Caribbean American heritage, but the history and, how it came about. So Caribbean American Month started in 2004 when the legislative bill was passed by Congresswoman Barbara Lee. The resolution was made officially in 2006 when President George W. Bush signed a bill naming June the month of Caribbean American Month. So it just happened, not just happened, but it just started being known and started being recognized in the early 2000s of bringing it into the America and knowing, being recognized throughout the whole United States. Because we do have different cultures here, not only people from other countries, but, Caribbean as well. So this is a month to just recognize all of the Caribbean out there. So I just wanted to put that out there so that everybody can know the history of it and how it came about. So I have some questions. I have some questions here. So let's get to know you a little bit. So we all know that we're sisters. You're the oldest. There is 7 of us. So she's the oldest of 7. So she knows a lot.
Wow.
She knows a lot of the ins and the outs, what, how our family came here and everything. But I do want to ask you, when did you move to the United States, and how was it adjusting to another country?
Okay. I first moved, actually. I have to give respect to who respect is due, actually, which would be my grandparents and my aunt and uncle. They first came here, Lynn and Handel, and they moved to New York as a young couple.
Okay.
And being here for many years, my grandparents came to help them as her firstborn, Eric, came. And she needed that help from my grandmother.
Okay.
And they all came, they lived in New York for quite some time. And during that time, they had went back and forth from Trinidad to New York.
Okay.
However, the weather became quite discomfortable for my grandfather because he loved to be outside, he loved to plant, he liked Trinidad.
Yeah.
Trinidad.
He's used to that island
Yes.
weather with the
Exactly.
breeze blowing.
And looking for something more comfortable for them. Houston they looked in different areas, maybe Florida, Miami being closer to home. However, Houston is one they actually looked around in to see if it was best for them. And being a warmer choice for them with the weather, they decided to move to Houston. And that's how we all decided to come here. And knowing my grandparents, we are the family that actually prays together, stay together.
Okay.
And therefore, him coming to Houston, he encouraged all his children to move to Houston, even if they had traveled back and forth, to come and make a life here with them and experience that growth with them.
Yeah.
And that's
I know that he did pass down a lot of prayers, knowing God, having a relationship with Jesus. Knowing where that came from, started from young, having prayer meetings every Saturday. Every Saturday. And like I said, I believe I said this in a past episode before, that he would give us Bibles as gifts.
Yeah.
So that is something that my grandfather instilled in us at a young age, to his kids and grandkids and everything. So I do appreciate that, him doing that for us.
Yes,
He
really did that.
So that we can instill that into our kids as well too.
Definitely. And how was it for me as a young lady coming here? I have to say I did travel before.
Okay,
Coming to New York, came to Houston, went back home. I graduated from high school. And coming back this time, however, as a young lady, adjusting for a lifestyle.
Yeah.
After leaving Trinidad and coming here.
That could be very
Very different.
challenging. Very challenging.
Back in those days, definitely.
Okay.
And leaving all my friends and what I've known back there growing up, to now live a lifestyle. But because of the growth that my parents gave me, the teachings of value, I know I had to make a stand and make that for my brothers and sisters, being the oldest and coming here and being that example.
Yeah.
I had to go through it and know why I had to go through that. It's like, hey, it's no problem. We can do this because we're doing it together.
Yeah.
Until eventually everybody came over. But definitely I was the first one to come here and settled in and tried to adjust. Even in going to school, I decided, look, I'm here. I like to make a life for myself also, because the example I need to set. I went back to school. I went to get my driver's license. Whatever art classes, whatever there was given in school at that time, I decided to go back and learn and be more productive. Yeah, just an example for when you all come along.
So was it difficult, challenging for everyone that you came across? Because just now coming to America and knowing different words that you would say, that's normal in Trinidad, it's not so normal here in America. So the language barrier, how was that? Trying to adjust.
It was. I had to learn to speak my pronunciation. Even having an accent, I had pronounced. And I'm so glad you brought this up, because in school, I decided to go for a college classes. Yeah. And we learn the English in Trinidad, and we have our books, everything came from England. So I did my essay. And I used the word learnt with a T at the end. But that is how we're taught in Trinidad, with your past participles and your present nouns, past. And he put a big red mark over my learnt. And I was very upset. So I took it back to him, and I'm like, excuse me, this is correct.
Yeah.
And then he went into the dictionary. We had was to go there. And he showed that it was the Old English. So they never did recognize where you come from, this is how you were taught. And this is how you learn. Not that it's incorrect, but because you're in this country, it is considered wrong. So it's an ED and not a T at the end. So even in that, being in school, your pronunciation, even in public, you have to repeat yourself in order for them to understand you clearly. Because we are not pronouncing our words the way they are accustomed hearing it.
Yeah.
Not that it's wrong, but we were taught a certain way, and they are taught in the United States. So therefore, going back to school, going back to college, learning to see, whatever my essays may be, and go through it even more and more and do more research. That was really challenging for me.
Okay.
In doing things like that. So,
Yeah.
yes. And you notice I speak sometimes differently because I want to make sure that I pronounce my word properly.
Yes.
Unless we are home and we are around
yeah.
each other, we're like, okay, no problem. But yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that for me, just being in the household with all of my siblings and, our parents, there will be some times where that, how I would talk in the house would be different how I talk in school. So when I go to school and I talk the same way that I would talk in the house, people wouldn't be like, what are you saying? What?
Yes.
What is that?
Uh-huh.
Even now, a lot of people will tell me, yeah, you have an accent. And I was like, oh. I didn't mean I was like, oh, okay, I have an accent. I don't show it as much. It don't come out as much, but people do tell me that I do have an accent. And it's because of my family.
Yeah.
So there is sometimes where that, I'll be in school or I'll just be out at work, be out and about, and I'll say certain things. And I'm like, what?
Yes.
He was talking too fast. What did you say?
Yeah, exactly. That's the part. You're talking too fast. I'll be good until, I start to get a little comcomfortable.
Yes, yeah. Or when you get a little upset,
That part right there. Miss D, slow it down.
You get a little upset, and you're like, okay, all right, you talk a little too fast for me. I can't.
Exactly.
So we do know you're very known in the Caribbean culture here in America, and well, here in Houston. People know you for your Caribbean cooking. So, if you do not know, you know now. You know now that she is well known for her cooking here in Houston. You would see her a lot everywhere, but we'll get into that. So what made you want to turn your cooking, your hobby, your love for cooking into a business?
I have to first say that coming from a family of business, first of all, it always been a part of me. Okay. Because coming from Trinidad as being a young lady, even as a child, I grew up with my grandparents. And they had a shop and rum shop.
Okay.
Now, we may have to define what a shop and rum shop is. So in Trinidad, we do have a shop, which is a grocery, which is a counter, and we're standing to the back, and then our customers is on that side.
Okay.
So it is a grocery per se, so we say a shop. Back then, your groceries are to the back, so whatever they requested, you hand it to them, and they'll give you back the money. So money is swapped back and forth. And then we have a bar, which is called a rum shop. So once again, the same thing. Okay. They request a drink or whatever it may be. And with our culture, there is no age discrimination. So, hey, we grew up in there.
So you were like 10 years old selling liquor.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
In different country. Ain't no bother with that. You sit down there, going in the back, I'll be right back. And there in growing up, and even with my grandparents, I see my grandmother, she worked very hard, very diligently, in carrying on that business, having a home and also a business. And that was in Arima. And then we had one in Aruca, close to Lupino Road. If anybody knowing from Trinidad know these places, so I'm just basically calling them out.
Yeah.
And the history behind the one in Aruca was previously owned by my great grandfather, Mr. Henry. And because the property was still there, my mom and dad decided to go into business on that same property, and was able to establish very well. Yes. Because it was more on the main street. It was Lupino, just a little further down. That's where we were. And as a young lady growing up, continuously seeing that, knowing it was a joy to be around people and communicating with them.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's just like a way of life. They'll come in, hey, you know, I want this. And then they carry a whole conversation right there.
Yeah.
And just being a way of life. You know, even if we go into school, we still had to come back and help our parents in the business. You know, my other sister and I are first dawn and help out.
Yeah.
Clean up, repack the shelves, whatever it may be. But then moving on to that after coming here and basically getting established, I still had that joy and that yearn to really reach out to people.
Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
show them and, you know, just reach out to my people. And I really miss that. And that part of home, I really missed my people. Because remember, I'm adjusting. I have to
Yes.
pronounce differently, look differently, wear myself differently, carry differently. I just want somebody to say, hey, girl, where you going? Something like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
In that sense, now I started reaching out and looking for people from Trinidad or just from the Caribbean
Yeah.
that would understand me and look like me, speak like me. And there were different events going on. And that's how I started getting involved in that.
Okay.
Doing events and cooking for them.
Yes.
Cooking, anywhere I go, I'll be cooking. So I started going out. There's several different little events that will be happening. One of them way back in then was Vibes. I was out at Vibes cooking for a while with my children, Keelan and Isis. And he has my two amazing children. And so at that time, we also had Soca Passion going on also last Friday. And when the Caribbean festivals were coming up, I had Camouflage. Or anybody that's having an event will reach out to me and say, hey, do you wish to be a vendor?
Okay.
And just being out there really bring that joy because then we get to meet everybody. And I do have to say this, being of this culture, being a Trinidadian, a Jamaican, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, whatever have you, I love the fact that I had one particular item, but it had 3 different names for it. So this is the thing that will happen. I'll be preparing, you know, cooking it up on site, my fry bake. And moms, can I have some fry bake? But then somebody said, no, I want a Johnny cake. And then another one will say, no, that's a float. And then another one will call it a different name. It's the same thing,
It's the same
but
thing.
because you come from different island, you have a different name for it. But then the whole argument will start up. But that's okay.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. We all won.
Yes.
So yeah, that is what really put me into that, into having the joy of cooking, but not just cooking because I could stay home and cook for the family.
Yes.
But the joy of meeting other people and interacting with them and showing that love for everybody else. It was really
Oh, there have
for
been a
me.
couple of times where I've been out
Yes,
with you.
yes.
And we actually been to Vibes with you. We would be out there till sun up.
Yes, yes.
From what we would start from like 10 o'clock at
10
night.
at night,
10
yes.
at night, and then won't stop till 6 in the morning.
That's right.
Everybody walking out of there wanting some fried bake.
Yes.
Wanting whatever it was.
Yes.
Some soup.
Yes.
And they don't care how hot it is outside. They want some soup to sober up.
Yes.
Yeah, because they had a good time.
Yes. And, you know, and just in checking there is that it felt really good because I know at that moment, even as people are coming out,
Yes.
and I knew who they are, they knew who I was always safe at that time too, because we had security, you know,
yeah.
and people always look out for us out there. But one thing is that I would never let them drive and not have something to eat. I will always say, hey, have a seat.
Yeah.
Eat this, have this bake, you know, whenever you come back again, it's no problem. And many of them actually come back and say, you know, thank you very much. It really helped me out. You know, and
Yeah.
those are the things that you reach out because this is for your community. No matter what it is going on, you come out to have a good time. You're still looking out for each other. So say, hey, you know what? Hold this bake or hold this chicken. Yeah, I know. Sit down here. Keep yourself quiet.
Yeah.
When you get it together, then you can go. So,
I know,
enjoy that.
I know just when you started going out there more often, a lot of people, you know, you would talk to them and say, yeah, I'm on the north side of Houston. And a lot of people appreciated you being on the north side of Houston because we didn't have a lot of Caribbean food up here. And on the north side of Houston, it's always on the south side of Houston. So they said they'll have to drive so far to get some doubles, get some, whatever it was, roti, so a lot of people like, oh, okay, well, you cook it. All right, well, here, can I order something from you? Like, can I? And that's how, word of mouth.
Word of mouth, and being hospitable to everybody and say, it's like, can I come pick it up? And most of my times that's what happened. I will cook at home, they don't mind picking it up, or I'll say, look, I will meet you halfway, depending on how where you are, that's no problem. And that was the roti. The roti skins. Everybody will travel around for that roti skins. They will make the curry, but not that roti skin.
So it was, I enjoyed myself being out there helping you out and stuff. So how long have you been cooking? And then what is one of your favorite dishes or one of your dish that you really enjoy making for everybody?
I would say I started cooking since I was really small. I've been the oldest. I was like, okay, Mom, teach me how to cook. Teach me how to do this. Tell me how to do this and stuff, And I get to realize I really enjoyed it because I'm looking and I'm thinking about what it should look like. Would it look like how Mommy cook it? Would it look like how Daddy cook it? Or would it look like how Grandma cook it? How would it taste like? And that was since 10, 11, growing up and stuff. And learning from different people and realizing I had the joy for that, of cooking that. And in fact, one time when I traveled to Trinidad, because I didn't realize such a joy that I had, and after many, many years of not going back to Trinidad, I finally went. My brother said, okay, look, I'm buying you the ticket. You're getting on the plane because I'll always put it off. Oh, no, not this year, next year. But the joy came when I got to Trinidad and I started meeting friends and they say, I'm cooking this, I'm cooking that. And I realized we all did the same thing in the community. We always cooking to feed somebody. That's where I get it from.
And that's something that, because I remember when the first time that I could remember, I went to Trinidad when I was 11, and we would stay at my aunt's house. And guy will be walking down the road, and he like, hey, you have some coffee in there for me? And yes, I have some coffee. And she'll go in the kitchen, make him some coffee, get him some bread with some cheese on it, and some butter,
some roast bake.
And she'll give it to him, you know. So it was just being in Trinidad and in a whole nother country and seeing the love and the, compassion and just, the enjoyment of interacting with other people.
That is
so
right there.
It's like, okay, it's like put a smile on your face when you wake up in the morning. You're like, okay, who am I gonna go out here and speak to now?
Exactly.
Because everybody is out early in the morning, they're doing stuff, and they don't mind speaking and saying hi, good morning. You don't even know who that person is, and then you end up having a conversation with them and end up, hey, we have some stuff here. Have some mangoes in the back there. You want to pick some mangoes? So whatever it is.
Yes.
But
that was the joy.
Yes, that is the joy.
That I have to say, I realized that as I got older, this is where the joy came from and the love. I don't have a favorite because I cook so many. Now that I cook so many different dishes, in my field, in the hospitality, I've learned to cook everything worldwide. I would have to say the most challenging was the roti.
Okay.
Was the roti. I get to a point now where it's easy for me because I know how to prep ahead of time. I can show it because I choose to perfect it, meaning I learned is either the peas isn't grind properly, the flour is not right, it's either it cold outside, it hot, the flour not rising properly, whatever it may be, or not the right flour. And stuff. But the roti skins is something that I really focus a lot on. That was more challenging for me than any of the dishes. I mean, you could season up your chicken and bring it down. You can make it callaloo. You could do this. These were very simple for me. But when it comes to that flour and the peas combination, putting it in that dough and rolling it out just right so it won't burst, Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah,
See that one?
It does take a lot of work and a lot of patience.
Yes, yes.
To master that. So
It does. So
it does.
but it's good.
Hey.
It's really good.
You get a lot of compliments from your roti.
I do.
You get a
actually.
lot of compliments. A lot of people in your roti, especially us, the family.
Work hard towards
love
that.
it. But we do, since we're talking about food, I'm starting to get a little hungry,
Oh,
sipping on
look
this.
here.
Yeah, I'm getting a little hungry. We do have some snacks.
Mm-hmm. You want me to go get them?
Yes.
Okay, let me just reach on over here.
So we got some stuff here. So since we're talking about Caribbean, we have some Caribbean food that we wanna. And I don't get this all the time, so when I do, it's like I'm like a kid in a candy store.
So these are a few of the items right here. We'll place it to the front there.
So when you come back, I'll have you introduce these items.
A few of them. Okay, just line it up a little further there.
Okay. Oh, y'all, my mouth getting watery.
Put this next to that one there.
Okay.
Next to the barrel. You have this next to your barrel. This is going to be a chow.
Yeah, I've been waiting all day for this. All day. Okay.
Yeah, please.
All
Napkins.
day. All right.
Okay, so
All right. So since we're talking about Caribbean, we're talking about Trinidad.
yes.
We have a few items here to just show y'all and
Yes.
to let y'all know.
So let's
What
start
they
with
are.
this. I will go ahead and start here with the pylori.
Okay.
This is one of our East Indian dish that we have.
Okay.
Now, this is your fried dough. It have a slight saffron in there, a little yeast to make it nice and fluffy, and it's fried.
Okay.
Right, and it's not too many ingredients in there because you want to keep it nice. A little saffron, a little yeast, a slight sugar to make sure that yeast, activated in there, and a slight salt. Some people put in a little seasoned salt depending on what they want. Maybe a little cilantro in there. Usually, it's done with split peas also.
Okay.
A combination of both. Some don't, or some do.
Okay.
Of the split peas, the grind powdered split peas, together with the flour. And saffron give it a nice little yellow flavor and a little yellow look to that. Now, this is your homemade tamarind sauce. Now, this doesn't have to be spicy, but you have your garlic and you have a little cilantro, a little Scotch bonnet pepper in there. But you could always regulate it. And because it's tart, you put brown sugar.
Oh, yes.
You put a little sweetness in there. And this is what I have here, mango chutney. I ground it up pretty good because it goes and it complements your pylori.
Okay.
So those are some of the things you can have. This right here is one of our fast food. That is a little spicy because one thing you're going to do is pick the mango, you cut it up, put a little cilantro, a little garlic, salt, and pepper.
Okay.
Right? And a little Scotch bonnet pepper because you do need to have that little hint. What I've done is add a few pieces of pineapple in there. The pineapple was really sweet. The mango is a little tart. So the combination with it is really good.
Okay.
A little salt for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything is actually fresh from the tree.
Okay.
That you got there, you clean it out and prepare it. So moving along, if you'll uncover that there.
Oh, yes.
So I did tell my sister, girl, I don't know if I'm going to do this. I'll have to drive down and get me some barra for the doubles. We call it barra. Bring it a little closer. So this is really, that's fine. This is fried thin, very, very thin. And it does have a little saffron in it too. But as you can see, it's one of our street food, a delicacy that we have when you're going out. Once you get off the boat, once you get off the plane, where can we get the doubles? Getting doubles.
Yes.
So I went ahead and I make it for my very first time. So
Okay.
I do have to try it again, but this is my very first time doing the bara. And if you'll uncover that dish over there, bring it closer, you will see that is the chana for it, the chickpeas, garbanzo beans. Now that is curried, and once again, garlic. You know, just you like to use a lot of fresh herb. So we have the garlic, a little cilantro, a nice little pepper in there. And if you don't mind, that chutney there is usually known for the cucumber. What I did though, I grate mango in there also. So yeah, and then I did pepper, garlic, and a little cilantro. Cut that up, and that's your fixings that you can have for your bara with the chana,
Yeah.
and then your pylori, and then your toppings.
Okay.
This, as we can see, is a heritage because of the different people that came into to Trinidad and come from where they travel far and wide, and they brought all their spices with them.
Okay.
So we can actually enjoy it and have a combination for each and every one.
Okay. Well, I want to take a little bite. So we're going to go ahead and try this out. So this is our first time doing this on the podcast. You know, I haven't had food on here, so y'all bear with me.
I'll try the pylori.
This is looking really good.
There's a spoon right here for your chana.
My channel. Yeah. Oh, I'm messing up the mic now. Yeah, so the doubles, like she said, this is the first thing you need to get when you get off the plane. Okay? First thing. Okay? And doubles, it's actually two. Two of the look, I'm gonna explain it Americanized, okay? Two of the bread. Two of the bread here is two. That's why they call it doubles, okay? Doubles is just, you order a double, it means you're gonna get two, okay? You're gonna have it together. That's perfectly fine. And you could put your little tamarind sauce, like she said, your little chutney.
Put it in the middle there. Okay, thank you.
Your little chutney, your whatever you want to put on there. I like tamarind sauce. I like a little tamarind.
Yeah, because even in the history of Trinidad, don't mind while you're fixing.
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and some of the things that I actually, as a young lady growing up in Trinidad, in school they're actually teaching you these different things, right? So I'm like, in history they will show you, or you'll read that Christopher Columbus came down and he discovered Trinidad and Tobago. However, there were people there. There were Carib and Arawaks, the tribes.
Okay.
Carib and Arawaks. So he decided he would come down from wherever he is over there and decide to say, well, hey, I claim this for Spain.
Okay.
Yeah. And he decided, hey, it is now owned and ruled by us. And therefore he bring other people, the British came and the French came, even the Dutch, they came through there.
Okay.
You know, and therefore, as all these other people came in, they brought, like I say, all the different spices with them, together with other things, you know, sickness and stuff like that. But one thing I have to say is, even to this day, having the ancestors of the Caribs are still known as of to this day. And right where I grew up, there is a group still established today, which is the Santa Rosa Carib of Arima.
Okay.
And they still celebrate it. They still celebrate the queen of that time too, of that tribe, the lineage of whoever came from that tribe. So that was really, you know, interesting for us. That in Arima they still do that, celebrate our ancestors from there and recognize them. And I do have to say, throughout the whole period of that time, people coming into the island from whether they come from the ship, the boat, from Africa.
Yeah.
Indians from indentured laborers came in and worked. They had slavery at that time too.
Yeah.
They first came, they worked the fields, so they bought what they had. We had rice, so I have some rice in the back, I have to bring it out, which we know as pilau,
Okay.
which as of to this day remind me of a dirty rice.
Yes. Dirty
Similar
rice.
to the dirty rice.
Yes.
Or rice pilaf. We also have that as a pilau.
Okay.
Pilaf, similar to that also. So definitely, we appreciate people that came in then to bring their type of spices that we are able to interact and make it into a beautiful delicacies that we have today.
Okay. Yes. I know going to Trinidad, mango chow is like one of the easiest things to make, and you could just make just know what mango you pick it, which one is right, which one is good to pick. You just pick that and take it home, clean it, start cutting it up, peel it, cut it up, and you put your seasoning in there, and it's just eat it as a snack. And just that's it.
That's it. Fast food.
You don't have to go to the store and get mango. You just pick mangoes from the mango tree anywhere.
Exactly.
And be careful where you're picking your mangoes from too, because not everybody like for you to pick their mangoes from off their tree. So just be careful where you get your mangoes from. Ask first, please. When you go to Trinidad. I know RJ's family always asks me, like, when are we going to go to Trinidad? You need to plan it. And I'm like, okay, all right, we're going to plan it.
We'll make sure that we plan it pretty good.
We got to make sure y'all ready for that, though.
Yes.
We got to make sure. But I believe they're ready. Yeah, so, okay. One more question. Just one more question.
One more question, okay.
Oh,
Let me take a little sip.
Good. You
Let me
doing
take a
good,
sip.
though. I'm ready to eat.
See, I'm drinking here.
So, what are some important things that you would like the viewers and the listeners to know about Trinidad and their people?
Okay. First, what I like people to know about Trinidad. Trinidad is known, and once again, let's give honor to whom honor is due. And we have to go back to Dr. Eric Williams.
Okay.
He was our first prime minister. And to give a little history about him is that he was very educated.
Okay.
He went to school in Queen's Royal, which is one of our college in Trinidad.
Okay.
And he won a scholarship to go and study in Oxford University in England. And after studying for many years, he actually migrated to the United States, and he was a teacher at Howard University. And it's actually, in history. After teaching and learning abroad, he decided to go back to Trinidad and fight for the rights of the people.
Okay.
And he won the election, and that's how he became prime minister. So in Trinidad, we have prime minister and the president.
Okay.
Because we still were under the Queen's law, the British law. At the ending, we were still run by the Queen. And because he stood for us and he stood for the freedom of the people, we will be able to become independent as an island.
Okay.
We have oil and gas, and we were able to stand on our own, and the Queen was able to say, well, okay, there you are, to give you your own independence, and also become republic within another year or so too.
Okay.
We become a republic. And with that story, I'd like to bring this one up to you. As we go along, and this is actually in history, and I was talking to my mom about it, he went to, going back to where he went to school in the Queen's Royal College. And that is
Okay.
mainly for boys, right? So let me tell you this one right now. This is real Trini style. The guys and them hanging out outside, right? So they're under the tree, right?
Okay.
They're under the tree hanging out. So, no matter what as young men, they were supposed to be in class. but they're sitting under the tree. So the principal back then is like, okay, what y'all doing out here?
Oh, wow.
You know, what you doing hanging out? Mm-hmm. And they say, man, we linemen. I'm like, they linemen? And that's how it started off.
Oh,
but
okay.
there's a history behind where linemen come from. Well, back then, what would happen, they would paint the back of the tree or the trunk of the tree white
Okay.
with that paint. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? Hold up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Stop right there. You wasn't ready for that one, right? Stop there. Eat your glory. You wasn't ready for that one. Get to find out. As I kept on checking it out, right? These young men, very intelligent, because if you look back at the history, they're from Queen Royal College. Means, you know, you really did your exam real good, quite intelligent. Well, what it is now is that the painting of the tree for the tree trunk was actually limestone.
Oh,
It's that chemical that would put into the paint because they'll make paint out of that.
Yeah.
And you paint that tree, the trunk of that tree. Now it protects it. Do the research, it protects it. Right? And now when they say lime, because it's a limestone chemical that they use to protect that tree, they say, man, we lime in. Because the lime came from the limestone that they use actually in there to lime wash it. That's what they call lime wash it. But check this out. So we come to the States, right? We with our grandfather, you know, we just talk about him.
My God.
He's having prayer meeting. But how many times he will say, come. Let me paint the tree.
The tree.
The only house in the entire neighborhood in the United States of America is our house with the tree planted and painted.
The trunk
The trunk of the tree
is white.
is white.
Do we have pictures of that?
I don't know, but we need to find
We
it.
need to
Whoever
find
have it, let us have it. But as the more I look into it, and amazingly, I wanted to get this to you,
Okay.
is that
That's surprising.
there is a reason why he did that. It's either one, we didn't listen to what he was saying because he always nagging us, you know, to
Yeah.
say, okay, you get on my nose, or maybe he didn't say it. But it protects the tree
The tree.
from the winter. It would not damage it because it's a limestone and the chemicals that would use in that particular paint. So it's a particular paint they would use, and that is what preserved it from that type of weather, from the winter weather.
Wow.
And it keeps it. The only thing is that my grandfather would paint the tree, the rock, the tire he put around it,
Tire put around the tree.
the sidewalk that leads to the house
Jesus.
with the bricks. So he made a complete design. A complete design out of
my
what
God.
he knew.
That
So
is
therefore we say, hey, a
hilarious.
lineman is because, you know, they use
So,
lime.
so look. Now I understand.
Now we understand, right?
You could pick out whose house is a Trinidadian house when you're going down the road because it's like
Yeah. All the
you
trees.
see all the trees look the same. So you see this one tree, this one house that got a white tree
White-
trunks.
yeah.
And you're like, okay, that got to be the house. So let's go in here.
You
and
can't
get
pass
some-
it up. You can't
Yeah,
pass
it
it
can't
up.
pass it up. With the tires around the tree and
Yeah.
everything, you know.
It's white. So it actually came to something that was quite knowledgeable. It really preserved it. But at that time, we being young, we really didn't care because you can't. Why are we painting the street? Why am I out here painting the street white?
He would paint everything white. The
White.
chairs. Oh my Lord.
Everything he be painting.
Everything.
But it is known, I believe, and you know, if I could get some pictures for that, that in that area, in the college area, they will still be painting that with the tree of the white paint and painting it. So that's something we want to look up.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That is something that she did.
Yes, that was really, you
Swear
know,
on
for that. But then also for the what I would like people to know also about the people. That means the people in the States to know about your Trinidad people.
Yes.
How we're from different cultures, different background, and we really celebrate each other. Let's start with the Africans that came. And after slavery was abolished, we have Emancipation Day, a freedom of slavery, a freedom of knowing who we are. You know, coming out from mental slavery or from bondage and knowing who we are, settling there from that area. Then you have the Indians from the indentured laborers, although they had promised them to come and work and maybe paid. There was still a heavy workload for them. So you do have Indian Arrival Day. And that day is also recognized. So we do recognize each other, even whether it be religion, whether, you know, whatever belief they belong to, we still always embrace it.
Embrace it.
Always embrace it. So even in Christmas time, we do celebrate Parang. And Parang is known for the Spanish. And we move from house to house or travel from house to house singing carols, but instead of singing it in English, we sing it in Spanish. Yes. So we recognize that. Even in the Indian culture, like Diwali and the Hindus and whatever have you, there are so many different holidays within that little island, only because it's appreciated and respected, and we all believe in each other and what they believe in. We don't discredit anyone, and just enjoying in what we have from each other.
Yes, because I know there's, you know, just like with in Trinidad, celebrate a lot of holidays that we don't know about, but also they don't celebrate like American holidays that we have. You know, like 4th of July, Thanksgiving. What else? Memorial's Day. You know, things like that. They don't recognize that. You know, so that's something that you probably had to get adjusted of moving here to America too. It's like the holidays. It's like, okay, you only get 3 days off for Christmas? Hey, I'm used to a week, 2 weeks.
Exactly.
2 weeks off.
Excuse me. I am so glad you said that, because I literally forgot, because after going back to Trinidad, right, for so many years, I went on Easter time. Easter holiday starts since Thursday. Then you have Friday, which is your Good Friday. Saturday is Glorious Saturday. Sunday, Easter Sunday. Monday is Easter Monday. I'm trying to go to the grocery. Shut down. I'm trying to go to the corner store. Shut down. I'm trying to go to the mall. Shut down. They have gone to the river or to the beach, and they are already hanging out. They're taking that time to rest with their family. And I couldn't believe it. Everywhere I go is totally shut down. And it was the Monday after Easter, but it's recognized as Easter Monday. And they're still with their family. They're still getting time to rest and, you know, keeping their home together as best as they can, because they have worked hard, and this is what they choose to do. Let's go to the river. Let's go out there. Let's go hang out. And we are really hanging out people. We like to hang out, you know, and take some time. Like you see, why I'm only having 1 or 2 days off? Why can't I have a whole week?
A whole week. Trust me, they take a whole week off.
A whole week.
And then for Christmas, they start getting ready for Christmas in October. Probably earlier than that.
When they start singing out the parang and stuff, they start celebrating. But coming on closer is that when everybody's painting, they're changing up the curtains. Oh, yeah.
Rearranging their kitchen.
Yes, everything. The living room, everything is done differently. Everything. We're more focused on, I think, more of our food than buying gifts. Because we appreciate every time somebody comes to the house, we're able to offer them something, a drink or a meal or something for Christmas, than really for a whole lot of presents being bought.
Okay. Yeah. So, Trinidad, just to, you know, bring this to y'all, this episode of Caribbean American Heritage Month. This is the month of June, and we do have the Caribbeans have a lot of events going on this month as well too.
Yes. You want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
Well, before we go into the events, I just want to bring to a deeper knowledge of the contribution that is done within the Caribbean community.
Okay.
We do have Caribbean Impact, and I will also send the link for that, which is recognized for the community. And we also have the Texas Caribbean Chamber of Commerce, and we have the link for that.
Okay.
That is here for the community that gives back to the community and help them in their business or what needed in that category. Then I have a good friend of mine that's Soca Passion, and he does a lot for the community also. He throw events, but he also gives back to the community around Christmas time, different fundraising. He's also a part of that.
Okay.
Then we also have the Trinidad and Tobago Association, and they throwing galas, or they will have fundraising for sending Caribbean children or from children who have Caribbean parents to give them scholarship and help them with their scholarship for going on to any college of their choice. And we'll have that coming up also pretty soon. We had just had a brunch, and a gala is coming up pretty soon with that, and I'll have more information on that for you. And then moving on for the big festival, which is coming up on from the 28th. Now, hear that. It's not a one-day festival. It's from the 28th to the 2nd of July. So you're starting off with, I would say, a camouflage. That means you dress up all in camouflage and stuff. Firecard is good with that. Then you have the all-white. Dress up in all white, that is good also. We also have a breakfast right after, and this is a Trini. I'm sorry, y'all. Right after the glow, you go straight into a breakfast.
A breakfast.
As shown by Ansel. And then you will have by Sunday the parade of the bands. And that I will also put the link up, or the flyers. We'll put that up also, because we all come together. You know, as we come together in one love, in unity, we celebrate, and that's the time we come out and celebrate with a parading of costumes, music, and getting together with our food. And number one with the food. And there's shorter times. There are also boat rides happening, brunches happening around that time. But for the whole week, there are different events happening. Just, you know, you go ahead and we'll put up the link there, and you could always go look for the Caribbean, or the Houston Caribbean Festival.
Yes.
That's what they call it. I think a Juve will be all there for this year also.
Yeah, Juve. They'll have. You said Bottle Fete?
Oh, I forgot. Soca Passion will definitely be having Bottle Fete. Oh my gosh. I remember our first Bottle Fete. Many years ago. Yes, our very first Bottle Fete. That means you're coming out. It's a big open place, a field, and you bring your own bottle. Doesn't matter what size your bottle is.
It doesn't matter how many bottles you bring, okay? You can bring a case of
It's all yours.
liquor.
It's all yours. It's all controlled, though. It's all have safety. It does have security.
Yes.
It's well secure. Lots of security, but in fun. In lots of fun, you know, being with your people and taking that time to celebrate.
I think a lot of the younger, my generation, because years ago, well, not too long ago, but years ago, you know, I believe the radio stations and everywhere else, they were mainly promoting Juve. Mainly promoting Juve, and that's what a lot of my generation know as, like, okay, Juve is around... 4th of July. So they're like, okay, Juve. So a lot of people that, you know, I grew up with in school, they're like, oh, okay, Juve. And that's all they know. But they don't know all the other parties that go, you know, that are before Juve.
Exactly.
And after Juve. They were like, oh, okay. Like I brought RJ and his cousin to Foam.
Oh, the foam party. Yes.
Foam party. And that was before Juve. And it was like, oh my goodness. And they had some of your food because you was cooking out there at the club. So it was just like, And there's so much other things that go on during the month of June and July, Carnival time. So it's like, look it up,
Yes.
attend some of the parties that you want to attend to, and just go and have a good time. Because, like I said, it's not only Juve. There's other parties out there. It's Camouflage, like you said, Bottle Fed, Glow.
Your all white.
Yes.
That is Glow. That's part of your Glow. And there's also boat rides. That's already
Boat
sold out.
rides.
As soon as it come out, it's sold out. And I say the second because second is the Sunday, but still there are parties going on the third and the fourth for the 4th of July. But I'll also have that up in the link if possible, or go to Facebook for the Houston Festival, Caribbean Festival. So it's really nice, even if you want to visit for one of the parties. There's a lot going on, just representing Caribbean and the Caribbean people, and what we like to do, and showing out our love for each other.
Yes. And trust me, you're going to have a good time. They're going to give you some drinks, some food.
Yes,
Hey, what you want? You ain't have no drink in your hand. Come, let's go get a drink. Come.
yes.
What kind of drink you want? And they'll get you a drink. But, okay. Alrighty. Yeah. We over here talking, and this food is just sitting here.
Yeah.
So, where can the people meet you? Where can they find
Oh,
you?
look at now. Yes.
Where can people find you?
I've been having so much fun the past couple of weeks and actually a whole month in some of the things I do and what I cook. And I'm really glad that you're having this opportunity to share what I did with the community and the Caribbean community that I really, really miss. And I know for sure they'll miss me with my food. Every now and then they meet me. There's like, so where's the food? You're not cooking anymore? And
She gets that a lot.
Yeah, a lot. I truly miss them. And therefore, I'm really looking forward to show some of the things that I used to cook before, or even some of the ideas that you always have. So I'm actually working on something that's called Liming with Dynell.
Okay.
Liming is, I already give you that whole history about
Liming
Liming.
with Dynell.
Now, Liming is hanging out to it. It's a deep story on that, with intelligent men coming up with this idea, Liming. So Liming with Dynell. So it's not just cooking. I want to go to events. For the people who is looking at us tonight in the daytime, midday, whenever time you're seeing this video, I want to give you that experience or show you that experience, not just cooking our kind of food, but what we enjoy when we go out and meet each other. We call it liming. It'll be a little drink, a little festival, wherever we may travel to. And those are some of the things I really want to bring to just the people. Not just only our community, but the people in general. Hey, come hang out with me. See what I'm doing. I'm liming. Come lime with me. Come hang out with me. And that's what I'm looking forward to on my next YouTube, Liming. I want them to come lime with me and have some fun. There'll be some places I may travel to.
Okay.
I'm going out, and I'm planning on doing that. So not just cooking, but just give me some ideas on what you like me to cook, or show you, for example, how I prepared it when I was getting out there. When we were going out there was a lot of preparation for that, and I could bring it to your home and show you it and give you that same nice sexy feeling that you had before, because I know they remember a lot of that. So definitely Liming with Dynell on YouTube. You have to come check me out.
Okay, all right. And so is that the only place that they can check you out? Also, for the viewers out there, if you are listening on Spotify, on Google, Apple Music, go ahead and check us out on YouTube so you can look at these delicious items that we have up here. You can see this. You do not want to miss out on this episode. So go on YouTube and like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, that's right.
Let us know. Where else can they meet you? Where else can they find you?
Well, also beside YouTube, I'll be on Facebook.
On Facebook.
And then I'll start branching off to other links. And I'll also have that put up on YouTube where they can find me as we grow together. I'm not doing this on my own, I need all the help I can get. So definitely, I miss it. Like I said, I've always grew up in reaching out to people and being a part of the community. Like I said, I miss it. I just want to get back in there, really get back into things I enjoy doing. It's just I could be using social media and reaching them out, and they could always reach me, give me a comment, let me know what you like, what you dislike, share things with me, and I'll share it with them. Be an open book, no problem with that, Right?
Well, it's a good thing you said you're doing a YouTube channel. Maybe I could just go ahead and, be a guest on one of your
No problem.
episodes. Hint, hint.
No problem.
Maybe I'll be a
Let me know
guest
when you're
on
ready.
there. Yes, so yes, thank you for coming on here and us, joining me to talk about your experience of, coming here to America and the culture, sharing the culture with the viewers that we have here, and know a little bit about us in the background. One love. Yes. So let's wrap it up for tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and get to this.
Yeah, you ready to get to that?
Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Catch y'all later.
When we get that moment.